that have seen your family killed. You now have something that stands for you. It has put the weapons of this war back in your hands of youth, the young, the powerful.
I'm a good follower, sir.
Beasts of No Nation is directed by Cary Fukunaga, stars Idris Elba and Abraham Adda, and is the first original film to debut on Netflix. This film tells the story of the civil war raging in an unspecified part of Africa and a little boy who gets caught in the middle. When Agu's family is killed by the local government, he escapes off into the jungle, only to get picked up by a group of rebel soldiers led by Idris Elba's character. Now, I've been meaning to watch this movie for a couple of weeks now, ever since it came out on Netflix, but I just haven't had the time. So I just sat down a couple of days ago and finally got to watch this movie, and oh boy, is this a tough one to watch. This has got to be the most raw and realistic depiction of the child soldiers in Africa that I have ever seen. It just grabbed me right from the beginning and would not let go until the end. In every grim and heartbreaking detail, Beasts of No Nation shows you exactly what the world is like over there. And to see how these children were manipulated with drugs and alcohol and abuse is more horrifying than any scary movie can be. And even though the movie is kind of what you would expect to see from a film like this, it's much more because every gritty detail puts you in it and makes you feel like you are watching true events. Because you know that things like this are happening over there all the time, and it's really heartbreaking to watch. I'm almost entirely laying the success for this film on the director Cary Fukunaga, and I'm calling it right now. I think this guy is going to be a well-known name very soon. He already directed the first season of the hit TV show True Detective, which if you have not seen that, holy crap, it is brilliant. You really should watch it. But anyways, doing a little bit of research for this film, I discovered that Cary Fukunaga basically carried this movie on his back. He not only adapted the screenplay and directed the movie, but he also became the cinematographer and ended up taking over the role as the camera operator when one of the crew members got hurt on the shoot. Not only that, but he had the monumental task of directing a large group of actors that were mostly made up of locals and many of whom had never even worked in front of a camera. Through all this, somehow he not only created a cohesive film, but injected his own style into the movie and just created a really well-made and impactful movie. I also want to mention the two main cast members of this film. Firstly, Idris Elba was absolutely captivating as the commander, and I think that he is probably one of the most underrated actors working right now. I really believed him as the leader of these rebels, and his intensity and his utter disdain for humanity in general is both enthralling and sickening at the same time, and I can't say enough good things about this performance. But Idris was almost outshined by Abraham Adda, who plays the boy Agu. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a better child performance in a film. I never caught him acting while I was watching the movie. It just felt like he was living these events. And as he's leading the audience through the story, you really get to see his full range of emotions, from his anger and his sadness, and you get to see the way that these terrible things that he's being forced to do and brainwashed into are really affecting him. I was absolutely floored with him and just utterly impressed. Really, my only criticism with the film is the runtime. I think maybe it's 10 to 15 minutes too long. There's just a couple of moments that drag a little bit, but it's really a nitpick because I could see it being tough to remove any sections out of this film. So while Beasts of No Nation is in no way a fun movie, I think it is a very important movie and it definitely deserves to be seen. It shows the ugly, sad reality of a world that can feel very far away from our own, but it's a very needed perspective, I think. And if you've got Netflix, you really have no excuse not to watch it. I highly, highly recommend that you do so. I'm giving Beasts of No Nation 8 out of 10. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up. If you saw this movie, leave me a comment down below with your thoughts on it. I would love to hear what you thought of this film. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. I'm definitely going to be doing my Jackie Brown review. I promised it a while back and I just haven't had time to do it. But but I'm going to try and do this in the next few days, so stay tuned for that one. There's also a lot of great movies coming out in November and December that I'll be doing reviews for, so keep on the lookout. But until next time, keep going to the theater, keep watching those movies. I'll see ya.